My hands, but can't move my face. Hi, I'm Brian Dingwall, Senior Product Manager at Esna, now part of Avaya. I'm here to talk to you about our first Avaya branded solution, Avaya Communicator for Web, that connects with the IP Office. Avaya Communicator for Web is an HTML5 application that we package as a browser extension for Chrome or Internet Explorer. What this allows us to do is to integrate inside of applications such as Google Apps, Salesforce.com, or Office 365, and take advantage of some of those services there to enable some key use cases for collaboration and communication. So the extension takes advantage of several services on the IP Office, including WebRTC. WebRTC allows us to do both voice and video inside the browser, so you can get soft phones, no additional software required, can run on Windows, Mac, or Chrome OS. Additionally, for IM and Presence, we leverage XMPP. That service is inside the application services on the IP Office platform itself. Finally, we also use the OneX portal. The OneX portal, it has a range of services for the IP Office, including things like call control, directory listings for users on the IP Office. We take advantage of that to build out the unique user experience and client interface that we have. We designed it through many painstaking months to be friendly and intuitive to the user. Additionally, we don't expect users to go through manuals or external content, so we enabled in-app tutorials. This will be familiar to users who utilize mobile applications. Majority of them will, at the first time that you run them, will guide the user through the application. The main view of the client is the buddy list view. Here you can interact with your coworkers by clicking through to the actions page. The actions allow you to do things like messaging, so you can do IM, you can call the user using WebRTC, or you can take advantage of desk phone, so you can control the IP Office phone on your desk. We enable some unique use cases, such as in Google Drive, where the slider, a tab that's present on every tab within your browser, contextually picks up the users who you've shared that document with. This allows me to escalate to real-time communication and collaboration actions. In terms of prerequisites, you will need IP Office version 9.1.4 or later. This includes IP Office Server Edition, Select Edition, or for the 500 v2 platform, you will need the application server. At the user level, you'll have to provision the users on the IP Office. They will have to be Power, Office, or mobile worker types. Ensure that when you create these users, you share the credentials with your Office workers so that they are aware of what they need to log in. To take advantage of the Scopia escalation, you will require Esna iLink for Avaya Scopia Desktop. iLink for Scopia has a host of other use cases it enables as well, including Google Calendar and Office 365 Calendar. To install Avaya Communicator for Web, you can navigate to either the Chrome Web Store or get the Internet Explorer add-on from the Esna website. These links are available in the documentation as well. Once downloaded, the user will be prompted with the source of credentials that they can sign in. This is based on your primary application that is in use in your business. If you wish to sign in with your Google Apps, Office 365, or Salesforce credentials, you can do so. Once signed in, the user will be prompted to authorize the application, and then they can sign into the IP Office with the appropriate server and IP Office user credentials. When I hover over Alex's name, I get a contact card that shows his live presence, and you can see that we've extended this interface to include Avaya Web Communicator actions. We've also extended it over on the People widget, so if I have an email thread for multiple users, I can click through and see actions for all of them. When I click on the action, it brings me to Alex's contact page within Avaya Communicator for Web. I get actions to escalate to Scopia, Hangout, because I'm a Google Apps user. I can share my current location. I can initiate a call, and this takes advantage of the WebRTC service on the IP Office backend. This allows me to do calls directly inside my browser. Alternatively, if I do have a desk phone, I can take advantage of that and leverage it in call control mode and dial directly from that device. And of course, we have IM Presence, so I can see that Alex is currently in a meeting. I can send him a message if I wish. This uses the XMPP services of the OneX portal of the IP Office. So if the user is on Avaya Communicator for Web or any of the other Avaya Communicator clients, whether it be mobile or desktop, Alex will receive that message. Some of the additional integration points, and the ones that I like actually, is inside Google Drive. For those of you not familiar with Google Drive, you can do collaborative online editing of Word-based documents, presentations, or spreadsheets live with other users on the web. What we've done is we've extended this. You can see down in the right corner here we have a tab for Avaya Communicator for Web. This tab is present on every website that you're on. However, when you're on certain sites, we detect the context of where you are. So you can see here that we've detected that this is a document. What we do is we dynamically build out a buddy list based on contacts you have in your IP Office contact list, as well as those who you have shared this document with. What's nice about that is that I can see who this document is shared with. If perhaps I needed Alex's assistance on this doc, I can click to Alex. I can go under Actions. I can share that current document with Alex so I can get his assistance, or I can engage him in a live voice or video conversation. In addition, if I wanted to escalate to the entire group, I can head over to Actions and I can launch a Scopia or a Hangout to the entire group. Transitioning over to Office 365, you can see that when I log out, we actually enable Avaya Communicator for Web to be able to sign with the user's existing credentials. So previously I was signed in with my Google credentials. What this does is it uses standards-based OAuth 2 security to authorize Avaya Communicator for Web to access the user's Google account. This scope is limited to the APIs and identity that we use to license and enable the user. So here I'm using Office 365. I can now select my Office 365 credentials. When I do so, it'll actually enable the flow in the browser for me to log into my Office 365 account. Once I've enabled Avaya Communicator for Web, it will enable the OAuth authorization flow. And then I can go ahead and sign into my IP Office account. When I go into my Office 365 Outlook Online, you can see here that I have an email from Pedram. When I click on the contact card within Office 365, you can see that we've now extended that contact card, very similar to what we've done in Google Apps, to enable the ability to open that contact within Office 365 as well. Pedram's offline here, but we can see that we also pipe in live presence for the users as well. Finally, we also enable integration inside of Salesforce.com. We take advantage of Salesforce's OpenCTI interface. This is a web-driven, event-driven interface that allows us to not only embed our user interface inside of Salesforce, it allows us to hook onto their existing dial actions. You can see here that I have several dial actions for users within my Salesforce.com account. When I click on that, it actually will dial directly inside the browser, again using the WebRTC services that we consume directly from the IP Office. I get actions here, so when I've made that call, I can choose to log that against a new contact lead. If it matches to an existing contact, that will be the default. I can specify a call result, so in this case this can be predefined by administrator for actions such as deal closed or follow-up. These are fully customizable by your administrator, and then you can add additional comments. When you hang up that call will be automatically logged with all the information and details. You can have a second chance to update your notes or add in additional comments. And that call will be logged against the Salesforce contact. So when I pop open that contact, you'll see that down under the activity history section, there's a call logged against that contact that I did today. So if I open that, you'll see all the additional details, including the notes that I made. What's nice about these is that they're automatically logged. So even if the user didn't actually add in additional notes, it still would have been logged with the call duration, time, etc. And these calls are now visible for reports by administrators. I can go under the reports section of Salesforce. Navigate to the call center reports. And look at my team's calls this week. So you can see that calls that were logged using Avaya Communicator for Web become present in this report. So you can follow up on agent performance and other actions from there. Finally, we don't limit ourselves to the applications that I demonstrated today. We do provide general number highlighting in the browser for users to be able to click and call anywhere. So you can see here that I did a search for Avaya, which allows me to click and call. So just as a refresher, the Avaya Communicator for Web framework is fully HTML5 based, so it's essentially JavaScript components. It runs natively as a browser extension in Chrome, as well as an add-on in Internet Explorer. So that's the solution of Avaya Communicator for Web. Again, the focus is on how we enable users of IP Office with cloud applications. To get more information, you can demonstrate the solution via Demo Avaya. You can find out more information at midmarket.esna.com or always our contact page at esna.com.